The girl was born half a zombie and is now growing up 10 times faster.
You'll die, they'll eat you.
That's enough.
No. Stop it. I'll shut up, I promise.
Wonderful. She's a teenager now. No one's coming for you, Lucy. You're special. Very special.
Hello everyone, Kino Jack is in touch and this is a short retelling of the final 12th, 13th and 14th episodes of the third season of the zombie series Nation Z. Now the third season is coming to an end, which was really trash interesting and diverse. This is a series that will not let you get bored. Therefore, if you are on this channel for the first time, then follow the links in the description and watch the series from the very beginning. And as soon as this video gets thousands of likes, I release the next part. Enjoy watching. Murphy he is under siege. Roberto and Son may have teamed up with the Red Hand and are preparing to make history at the Museum of Progress. They don't know yet that they are being helped by Kai from the Northern Light, who is conducting full surveillance from the window, and Citizen Z and Casca are heading straight to Washington in a small biplane. Roberta manages to grab poor Ten, who seems to follow Murphy implicitly. She is a little rude to him and finds his order from Murphy written on a yellow piece of paper. Find Roberta and bring her to me. If she doesn't come, kill her. Roberta injects Ten to the original vaccine to see if it will rid him of the status of a blend. And then they were blessed with the presence of Murphy himself, looking like a dictator in a black coat, black gloves, with recently peroxide hair and the last remnants of blue skin forming a striking scar around his left eye. He and Roberta exchange their usual opposing views of the world.
Dyson may her blood so that she can prepare a vaccine against the zombie virus.
After that, he takes 10K back to his lair, being sure that this motley group will not be able to get into his fortress. Although he is visibly shaken when the Red Hand turns off the electricity, and suddenly a banner hangs from the tower of the museum, urging Murphy's followers to be afraid. 10K goes with one of Murphy's followers named Auerbach to the Washington Water Company to get the electricity back. After Auerbach was shot by several red-armed men when he tried to reason with them, 10K is being attacked by zombies. A similar vaccine, which Roberta gave him, began to work. Fortunately, he is rescued by none other than Red and 5K. However, they do not have time to go far, as Murphy calls 10K back to the museum. At this time, Roberta and Song May manage to get into the Progress Museum, and the siege of Murphyton is in full swing. Murphy watches the carnage from the safety of his throne room and occasionally uses his mind control powers to give his soldiers a little confidence. Song May heads to the lab, and Roberta goes in search of Murphy, but Hope soon discovers her. Hope fires her weapon at the intruder, but misses, allowing Roberta to pierce her chest with her machete. Murphy loved you. Hope exclaims quite shrilly, falling to the floor. Meanwhile, Song May is settling into the lab when she is discovered by 10K, who admits that he feels a little confused. Red and Pyatka appear and convince him to help Song May, although he believes that these are just hallucinations. Red proves that she is real and gives Ten a passionate kiss, which seems to rid him of all the hallucinations that remained in his body. He helps Song May with the preparations, but they are soon discovered and held at gunpoint by VS and his thugs. Finally, everything comes to what we've been waiting for so long: Roberta versus Murphy. Roberta appeals to Murphy's Z impulses by offering him the brains she cut out of Hope's skull, which proves once again that this sociopath has lost his humanity. They get into a fight, with Roberta trying to dodge Murphy's teeth as he tries to bite her. In the end, Roberta grabs the gun from him, but is forced to retreat when little Cassidy appears and hugs Murphy. The hype is interrupted by the sound of Citizen Z approaching himself. Uncle Casca manages to make a not very successful landing in a nearby field, where his passenger finally gets to know Roberta, 10K and Murphy personally. Citizen Z transmits Doc's message that Lucy has been abducted by a human, prompting Murphy and Roberta to declare a truce and plan a rescue operation. Citizen Z would join them, but he is suddenly inspired by the desire to return to the Northern Light as soon as possible when he receives the amazing news: Kaya is pregnant with their child. The episode ends with Eddie setting off in pursuit of the man, noting the small landmarks left by Lucy in their footsteps. Eddie found Lucy at the old shipyard, where the zombie princess, who looks about 10 years old, is playing with her new zombie buddies. It seems that Eddie and Lucy will be able to escape punishment until a man appears and hits Eddie in the face with a gas can. Eddie and the man engage in a deadly battle, from time to time moving away to fight the zombies excited by Lucy's screams. The man wins in the first round, as he lures Eddie into a trap on a burning boat, from which she manages to get out just before the explosion. Fortunately, Lucy left behind a severed zombie arm, which points Eddie in the right direction and the chase begins again. Lucy continues to be a pest on the road, teasing a person with her new favorite song "You Will Die, They Will Eat You." In response, the man ran over several zombies until Lucy promised to be quiet. It's all quite charming. Eddie wins the second round as she manages to ambush a checkpoint, shoot a man and take his truck and hostage. Eddie and Lucy leave, and the man pauses to evaluate the bullet-resistant properties of his Kevlar vest. Meanwhile, Doc is still on his motorcycle hot on Eddie's trail. At the boat station, he finds a message left by Eddie and a severed zombie arm that points him in the right direction. Believing that the man is dead or at least significantly injured, Eddie and Lucy arrange a shopping trip. Eddie looks even more like a fighting figure in her sexy new outfit, and Lucy learns that protection and practicality are the best way to plan her apocalyptic wardrobe. Lucy throws a little tantrum when it comes to her mother, insisting that there is no way she can be dead. Eddie explains to her the harsh truth of the zombie apocalypse: people are dying, and the more you love them, the more likely they are to die. More than Lucy's growth is interrupted by the sudden appearance of a man. Lucy runs to the river, and the man and Eddie chase her. The man and Eddie are fighting like crazy again, with Eddie getting particularly hard blows as the man dislocates her shoulder. The man wins the third round and leaves with Lucy, leaving Eddie broken and beaten on the rocky shore. Speaking of growing pains, Lucy is going through another sudden jump in the truck. Now she looks about 15 years old. And she craves chocolate. The man is desperate that he now has a teenager in his arms, reluctantly agrees to go in search of her sweet treat. Meanwhile, Doc stumbles upon DeLorean, from which he and 10K appear, dressed as Doc Brown and Marty McFly, but this is just a hallucination. Get off the Z-grass, document elsewhere. Eddie somehow gets to his feet and even manages to do a few Z's before he hits his shoulder against a tree again. The man and Lucy stopped at the store in search of chocolate. Lucy continues to communicate with zombies, insisting that they tell her their names and express their humanoid desires. Lucy gets tired of the man's bullying and impatience, and she goes out the back door, leaving him to deal with her zombie friends. Outside the store, Lucy bites the hand of a zombie in Grandpa's sweater and seems to be entrusting him with some kind of task. She manages to start the truck, and it rushes around the block, eventually crashing into a man who escaped from the store. Revenge for all the zombies he picked up on the road. On the way, Lucy meets Eddie, but their calmness is short-lived when a man appears from under the truck. The man drives off with Lucy again, leaving Eddie with a broken motorcycle. Eddie notices an approaching car and throws the female driver onto the road. But he does not have time to go far, as he realizes that there is a little daughter of a woman in the back seat. She gives the girl a gun that was lying on the dashboard, and the girl proves that she is quite capable of coping with it when she deals with an approaching zombie. She reunites with her mother when Eddie leaves. Further down the road, Eddie meets Doc, who is speechless at the sight of his beaten girlfriend. Without saying a word, he gets into the car, and the two of them drive off in pursuit of the man. Elsewhere, a zombie in a grandfather's sweater continues its lonely journey, stumbling in an unknown direction. Since then, Lucy has experienced another sudden growth spurt and looks about 18 years old. She changed the mockery of a person to a quiet, zen calm, which is actually her psychic communication with her zombie grandfather, who provides GPS assistance to Doc and Eddie, who set off in pursuit. Lucy. The old man growls repeatedly, his bony finger pointing the way. Not far behind them is the rescue team, consisting of Roberta, Murphy, Sun May, 10K, Red and 5K. They are on their way to Mount Casey thanks to the brilliant surveillance work of Kai, who is a little worried that there has been no news from Citizen Z for 12 hours. Meanwhile, Tenka looks even worse than usual, although Song Mei does not want to give him more medicine, since he has been stuffed with all sorts of rubbish all season. The man and Lucy arrive at the meeting place on Mount Casey, where they are met by a crowd of zombies. The special forces arrived at the scene and dealt with them, although the soldiers look worse, as their glowing eyes show that they are losing immunity. The man tells them to arrange air transport to the zone for him and Lucy. Doc and Eddie are the first to arrive at Mount Casey, where they do not have access to the entrance taken by a man. Grandpa points to the top of the mountain, which inspires Eddie to start climbing, leaving Doc waiting at the massive door. The climb turns out to be treacherous and she has to throw her favorite bat. Doc decides to smoke some Z-weed, but his buzz is soon destroyed by the appearance of new zone soldiers. They tie up Doc and Grandpa and get into the entrance to the mountain, but soon come out of there, faced with zombies and become zombies themselves. The situation is not going well for Doc, until Roberta and the gang appear, who quickly deal with zombies. Roberta blows Grandpa away before Doc has time to explain his meaning, but it's not a big deal. They all enter the mountain, ready for a battle with a man. The rescue team makes its way through the catacomb-like structure, but does not have time to go far, as 10K collapses. Suan-Ma-Yi says that in order to save 10K, they have to kill him. Just like Murphy technically lost consciousness after being attacked and bitten by a zombie years ago. The plan is this: Robert will strangle 10 to death, after which Murphy will bite him, and Sun Mei will give him the original vaccine. Sun Mei, Red and 5K stay with 10K, while Roberta, Murphy and Doc confront the man and Lucy at the top of the mountain. Murphy and Lucy have a brief tender reunion before everyone starts shooting at each other. The man fires a bullet that goes through Murphy's stomach, comes out the other side and hits Roberta's stomach. They fall to the ground. The man knocks Doc out and grabs Lucy, carrying her, kicking and screaming, to the waiting zone plane. At this moment, Eddie appears, having overcome the entire mountain. She grabs the man and they both fall over the edge, falling backwards. Lucy soon follows her, shouting after her Aunt Eddie. Then 5 appears and follows Lucy over the edge. The Sinister Zone ship then opens fire and appears to destroy Murphy, Roberta, Doc and everyone else on the mountaintop.